Hi guys, welcome to my channel. If you haven't been here, my name is Shimeen Miller. I create travel vlogs as well as tutorials and as well as anything lifestyle related on living an excitingly and amazing life. Today what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to talk to you about what's in my camera bag right now. Currently, I am actually in New York City right now. I'm staying at the Ace Hotel. This place is amazing. I wish that all of this was mine, but it is not. But this place is wonderful. Definitely a place I recommend to stay at if you ever come into the city. I wanted to show you what I brought in my camera bag, which is this bag actually right here. I carried a lot of stuff with me this time around. I've been lucky to be able to travel for at least the last year. When I went traveling in Southeast Asia, I brought significantly less gear, and especially because I didn't actually have all this stuff. But now recently with this trip, I am going to be gone for a month, and I am going to be staying in either like hotels or houses. So this will allow me then to be able to create YouTube videos as well as also do like my travel blogging. So this is everything that I have here right now. It is definitely a lot. There are some things that I probably would normally not bring with me, but because I needed to be able to help me put my videos together, I've put it in. And this bag here was super, super stuffed. So I might as well actually start with this bag. So I actually just picked up this bag here. As you can see it is by a company called Peak Design. And this is their 30-liter bag. It actually opens up on both sides. I'm not gonna go into the details of this bag yet because I'm gonna create a separate video on this. However, honestly, I'll be honest with you, the only reason, two reasons. I bought this bag because one, I now have a 15-inch MacBook Pro, and my old bag that I had before, which was amazing, I'll put the name in the description below, but I had this old bag, but it only fit my 13-inch MacBook Air, and it wasn't, I needed something bigger, so I got this bag, and it comes in two sizes, a 20-liter and a 30-liter, and so I picked up the 30-liter because I knew for travel I needed something bigger to be able to get away with on the plane. As well, like it actually looks really cool, like it's a really beautiful bag, looks super stylish, so you don't have to only bring it with all your camera gear. You can take it to the gym, for example. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start from the top to the bottom, and I'll leave all the names of everything that I have purchased down below here, and if you have any questions, just let me know. So what I have here is I actually have this big ass Joby Gorilla Pod here. Let's see if you can see it. So this one is pretty expensive. It cost me $180 Canadian plus tax. However, I use this, I attach my Sony A7S II camera with my 16 to 35 millimeter lens, as well as my Mavic Pro, which you can't see actually here right now because I'm filming on it. And I attach it to this because it honestly helps distribute the weight so much easier, and it's really strong, so it's great for me for vlogging when I take it out with me. And I even carried this thing with my camera setup through the airport without even putting it in my bag. So people, I don't know, I feel people kind of look at you and be like, ooh, okay, like what's she doing? And they don't really bug you as much, so which is kind of nice. I also do have this little tiny Joby one as well. This one I will use for my little Canon G7X camera here. So if I need to do, if I wanted to maybe take my camera out at nighttime, but I don't want to be using my big camera setup, I'll take this with me, so then at least I can be a little bit more incognito. I also have just this little tiny selfie stick for my GoPro. This is actually something I owned with my old underwater camera, and it came with this, and I like it, and it works really well. And it has like a float, the end is made of foam, so it kind of helps a little bit of the float, and you've got something here to stick your hand through, which is super helpful when you're in the water. Okay, here, let's go over here. Okay, so I've got my charger cables here, guys. So I've got my charger cable here for my DJI Mavic Pro. I've got my GoPro charger cable because you need a stupid separate one to charge it. I've got an extra long iPhone cable here. Sorry if you can get in focus. There you go. So I got an extra long iPhone cable here, so you can see my face. As well as this is my cable for my external hard drive. I've got this cool little Google charger thing here. So like this is the USB side that goes into like a plug or in the computer, and it's got each of the individual components here, so I can pretty much plug it into anything. And I got this back at like the Google campus actually in San Francisco when I went years and years ago. For chargers as well, I also have my external charger, sorry, my portable charger. It didn't really cost me that much, but it was really, it's really strong, and it gives me a couple good charges. This here is a USB, what is it, a 4-port USB hub, so I can plug in multiple things at once because I only have 2 USB ports on my computer. So the next charger I have here is one for my small HD external monitor. I normally would never actually bring an external monitor with me unless I'm like on a job and I have to film stuff for clients. However, because I'm making YouTube videos and tutorial ones as well, it just makes it a lot easier for me when I'm sitting in a place, like for example here right now, and I have nobody else to help me like frame my shot. It just helps for me to be able to do this a lot faster and make sure I'm also in focus. So I'll just show you right now because it's actually set up right now. So here we can see that I have my small HD monitor here, and we've got it on a little Manfrotto Tripod, which is another tripod I've brought. So you can see that I brought 4 tripods with me. And here's my camera setup as well as my tripod, a Manfrotto tripod. For the Manfrotto tripod, this one honestly, it was pretty cheap. It only cost me like, I think it was like $60 or $70 Canadian. So obviously in US it's a lot cheaper, and it's great because it's light, it's portable. It's not it works for what I need it for, but definitely I would love something a lot more stronger and heavy duty, but for traveling, this is perfect. Okay, so I've got this, and then the 2 batteries are already charged, or sorry, the 2 batteries are already in the monitor. I've got my Sony the Sony batteries plus the charging thing for my camera. So I carry with me here, there's 4 here right now. Sorry, there you go. There's 4 here right now. There's actually one I like to keep in it in the holder as well too, because it just helps and keeps, just helps me get some space in my bag. I've got only this time around, I've got a micro SD converter, so I can plug this into the computer, especially if I need this micro SD cards in my drone as well as for my GoPro. And here I've got my another 64 gig card, which is class 10. It's good for reading and writing up to 95 megabits per second, and it's great for shooting 4K video. All right, so I told you before that I've used my Canon G7X. I would definitely love a Sony RX100. However, I've only had this camera for 8 months. The only difference is really I wanted to be able to shoot in 4K on the Sony, but for now, this is great and exactly for what I need. On the table here now, we also have my GoPro. I've got my GoPro 5. It's great. I love this camera. Bought it a few months ago. Really great investment. Over here, I've got my DJI Mavic Pro. We've got so you can see here that we've got the 1 battery already attached to it here. I've got another battery here. I definitely would like to pick up another 1 or 2 batteries, but 2 for traveling is just fine. Obviously, I have the remote control here, as well as a couple little sachets of extra propellers. So I think I lost a set of propellers. Okay. Well, anyways, I normally would like to bring 4 propellers just in case I break them on here. But anyways, I've got them here. Let's see, and another thing for my drone is I have like fallen in love with this. These are little ND filters for the drone. It fits perfectly right over the camera for the DJI Mavic. And they're like little sunglasses for your drone, and they really help when it's super sunny or bright outside, so that it doesn't have to like up your shutter speed so fast. Because if you up your because it's a fixed aperture on the DJI Mavic, the only thing that the Mavic can do when it's filming is either play around with the shutter speed and the ISO. And if it's super sunny outside, the ISO is down at the lowest at 100, and what they have to do is they have to boost up the shutter speed, so you don't really get that nice like motion blur, that very cinematic look that you'd want. So with these, what it does, it creates like a lot more, it makes it darker on the top of the camera lens, and then it allows for you to have a lower shutter speed so you can get the nice little blur and just the beauty. And anyways, so these are great. It's from a company called Sandmarc, and I have to thank, I watched a video by Kraig about how to make drone shots look more cinematic, and this is where I got the idea from, and super love this this thing here. All right, the next things that I have here. So let's get into, okay, let's go over here. So I've got my Bose noise canceling headphones here. I am so grateful I got these as a present. They work so well. They're great for editing because you can turn the noise canceling on. You can just hear everything so closely, and it just helps with like the noise level adjustments. As well, let me tell you, with these, I love bringing them on the airplane and wearing them. So even if I'm not listening to anything at all, like I'll sleep with these. What I'll do is I'll actually put the headphones in. It's not plugged into anything. I'll turn the button on. So let me show you here. So here, this is the little thing at the end. So what I do is like I end up turning the little button on. You've got the green thing, the green lights. And what it does then is actually starts like the canceling of the noise. And on an airplane, it's just bliss. Let me tell you, if you've never tried them before, I highly recommend it because it makes flying so much more just nicer. And as well, if you're watching like a movie on the plane, you can like it sounds a lot louder as well because all that extra background noise is gone. So definitely these are not cheap. I think they're at least like they're about like $300, but such a great investment. Okay, let's get into my camera stuff. Okay, so I showed you my camera that I'm already using in the video, my Pro. So I actually carry with me a 55 millimeter f1.8. I like it because it's fast. It gives me that blur, that, you know, sort of that creamy bokeh that everyone loves, and it just like looks beautiful when you look through the lens. I also carry with me a 90 millimeter f2.8 macro lens. I love this lens because you can get really beautiful detail and you don't have to be that close up to like kind of do some like shots of people. The one lens I don't have here, only because I don't own it yet, is I would love like a 24-70 f2.8, except that lens like over a couple $1,000. So I don't own one of those. However, what I do with these lenses is, because on the Sony A7S II, they have something called like clear image zoom, I believe, or digital image zoom. I can't remember the name, but what it does, it actually can it can make your prime lenses up to 2 times longer. So for example, this 55 millimeters, because I can punch up to 2 times, this is equivalent to about 110. And this one here can be equivalent to 180 millimeters from my 90 millimeter macro. So it works really well. I've actually done it when I was at the Toronto Air Show. I did some shooting of the planes, and it just made such a difference because then I could actually see the planes in the sky and they didn't look like tiny ass little birds. The other thing that I've got with my camera lenses is I just picked up this Tiffen ND filter. So similar to the ND filters for the drone, but these are specific for the lenses. So this is the filter here. It's a variable filter. So it steps at like a different rates. So you get different darknesses, which is great. So you don't have to like carry a bunch of them. You just only have one. On the back here right now, I actually have attached a step-up ring. So it's amazing because what I can do now, let's see here, if you guys can see this. So this is the step-up ring. So this this ND filter itself here is great for, this works for my 90 millimeter lens. And with the step-up ring, when I attach this, what I do is I attach it to the back of this thing. And then what I do is then I can actually take this ND filter and then stick it on the front of my 50 millimeter lens, which is great. So I have one ND filter for 2 of my lenses, and it's great. This thing is awesome. It's I've used it a few times now, and I'm so happy with it. But again, like some of these things, like ND filters, well, I love it. I would totally recommend it, but as a beginner, you don't necessarily need this. Like I would just say, if anything, just learn how to be able to film or take photos without it, and then over time you can buy this stuff because they're not cheap. In this bag here, I have, this is for my sensor, so a little thing for you can blow into the sensor there, so you can get rid of like any of the dust particles that are in there. Included in this thing here. Sorry. All right. I've got like a couple like screen cleaning wipes here, okay? Haven't actually used them. I've got a lens cleaner as well. It's like a liquid thing. And I don't have the screen wipe for it right now, but, oh, look what I found here. The extra drone propeller. I also have here my a lens cleaner as well. So it's by lens, it's called lens pen. So one end here you could see is, can you guys see that there? The one end is like a little brush here. So you just brush it at the end of, say for example, you brush it at the end of this, and then you push it back in here. And at the other end, you unscrew the cap here, and then I use this for the outsides of my lens, and it's just like, it just like gets rid of all like the finger mark smudges and all this stuff. So you just work in like little circles. So this is great. And the last thing that's in this bag here is, this is actually to clean my sensor, and this is like to do like some legit serious work in there. I'm not gonna get into how to use this thing, but I had a job in the summer where my sensor was dirty and there were spots all over it, and I almost freaked out because I didn't know what to do. And having the sensor cleaner is so key, because you don't want to be cleaning off those dust spots in post, because it's a bit of a nightmare. So super highly recommend you like buy yourself something. At least there's so many different kinds of sensor cleaners, but this is I got because just for the price. All right, and last few things here. So I always keep a pen, because if I need to fill out immigration forms on the plane, this is it. Keep a mouse with me, because when I edit in Premiere, you need a mouse, because it just makes things easier. I actually have 2 external hard drives. The other one's just plugged into my computer because I'm busy exporting something right now. Keep my MacBook Pro, so I carry a 15-inch one with me. Always have my passport with me. Last thing here that I have is a little purse that I keep my credit cards, as well as my Nexus card and anything else, and some cash of whatever I really need. So guys, this is it. This is it. This is all the things that I brought. This bag, just believe me, it fits in here. It actually did fit in here. It was packed. It was heavy. So on here you can see there's probably things that you wouldn't need. So you work at your whatever you have and whatever you need. But this is for me, like I'm actually, believe it or not, I'm actually using all of these different pieces of equipment here that I had brought. So anyways guys, that is it. This is what is in my camera bag right now for my trips to Florida and New York, and I'm gonna be going to Barbados tomorrow. And yeah, so this is it. So if you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up, and subscribe down below, and turn on the post notifications if you would like to see more videos from me. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and you have an amazing rest of the day. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.